All right, we online. What's good? What's good? Welcome to the Epic Entertainment Critics. I am Antoine,
And I am still James.
and we got a epic movie review for John Henry, Netflix. John Henry. Don't confuse it with. Now they said Rock got a movie coming out. John Henry, but we don't know. But yeah,
Okay.
we about to review this Netflix John Henry, and but before we do that, we got an intro. Still recording. All right, sorry for that. Sorry for that little technical issue. We back on, man. So yeah, we was talking about John Henry, Netflix John Henry, starring Terry Crews and Ludacris, and and I was going to get out the way with right now. This movie was a very very low budget movie, like no budget movie. It's like they made this movie for $50, bro.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if it cost. It wouldn't surprise me if it didn't cost too much more than that. I'm just saying, like when I take like you get to recognize what budget filmmaking looks like,
Yeah.
and man, like I'm telling you, nobody, nobody had to dig too deep in their pockets for this flick.
So I'm guessing this is a first time director. I forgot to get his name. I should have got his name for this, but it's kind of like it's a hood movie, and it kind of I want to say kind of got like a little superhero vibe, but it's not really that super. It's more like the lone.
You know what it is? It's a hood western folk hero story.
Yeah, it's the man with no name. Well, the movie's got his name, but it's the whole. It's the whole. The man, the quiet guy, saved. You know, he's saving the town or whatever.
Yeah,
It's pretty much Walking Tall. The black version of black version of Walking Tall, but with a hammer instead of a 2x4.
right.
So, you know what? I'm gonna talk about what I liked about this movie though.
All right.
Before we get to the nitty gritty, I like I like Terry Crews as the protagonist. I think he can carry the movie. I feel like he's not when he ain't buck dancing and when he ain't cooning and buck dancing. You can be a good black protagonist, and I was happy to see that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though the budget, it's like, oh damn. I guess he feel like he wanted to do this, but with that budget, you kind of willing like, damn, you really want to do this? And you also think Netflix should. I thought they give bigger budgets for their movie.
Yeah.
It was clear that they didn't for this one, but
Like, and I'm wondering how much of that was on Netflix's side and how much
right.
of that was on,
But
who,
I'm
like,
looking at a lot of the other productions are big, so it's like you put your name on it, but you don't you don't produce it at all. You know what I'm saying? It's
right,
like
right, right.
so somebody came to you. I'm guessing that they came to them with a movie, and Netflix like, well, we'll let you put it on Netflix, but we ain't got shit to do with it. So it's like the movie's already made before
Right.
they, you know what I'm saying? But okay, so I like Terry Crews' portrayal of the quiet, stoic, reluctant hero. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where and you so used to him being silly and breakdancing and shit. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
nah,
saying?
that Terry Crews ain't anywhere near this movie.
Right, and
Like,
that's good saying
yeah,
that he can do this. He can actually be serious and play the quiet, stoic, tough, main protagonist. So I was actually kind of proud of him, on that standpoint. Um,
like I think it's always something that amazes me. Like when you get to see it, you get used to seeing an actor not only playing a certain kind of character but looking a certain kind of way.
mhm.
Like this is the most like busted I've ever seen Terry Crews look in a movie. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying? Like
mean, yeah, he's unshaven, got a little gray in the beard. You know what I'm saying? But it
like
fit for the character
it,
though.
it, it really works for the character. Like he doesn't look like the guy that's gonna come through and bust some shit up.
Right.
He's a big dude and he's got presence, but he's not. like he ain't coming through trying to be alpha on nothing. Like he's just big.
Right, and
Yeah.
that's kind of like the character where I'm big. I don't want to hurt nobody, but if you keep pushing me, I'm gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying?
And not only that, like the way like I don't know if this is the director or if this is just the way he wanted to play it, but like you get that sense that this character is very aware of how easily he can hurt people.
Yeah.
And like worries about it constantly.
Right. And which works for the movie. It works for the character. That's his conflict. You know what I'm saying? He's so strong that he can hurt people easily, and he don't want to do that. So I like that. So this is like early in the movie before it goes to 100. This is where I'm kind of feeling that. Like I said, I'm feeling Terry Crews, right. And then they got these gangbangers at the beginning, and I'm gonna tell you what, they some typical. It was like first of all, it kind of reminded me of Superfly. How they all wear these little white suits. They all wear these white jumpsuits. We're going to get to Ludachris later. I ain't got to that yet. I'm trying to say that. But they got some little group where they all wear white jumpsuits or whatever. But they got this little banter going. And it's like, typical hood stuff, man. Yeah. N-word this, N-word that. And I'm like, okay. Some of it was kind of funny, though. I feel like, okay, the flow of the conversation telling me they good actors. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the bad acting. I just seen, the dialogue was some bad stereotypical dialogue written. But the way the flow of the conversation went, they actually was some good actors because they
made it sound as natural as they could.
Right, they was delivering it good, and I didn't break to say, oh man, these dudes can't act. It's taking me out the scene. No, they can actually act. It's just the dialogue was just so. You know what I'm saying? It was so stereotypical. Like damn,
that was like that. There was some major cringe in that dialogue, man. Like I'm listening to it, like
yeah. But see, you got to also think, okay, well, these are the bad guys. They are hood. They are gangbangers. So what the hell gangbangers supposed to talk about? You know what I'm saying?
Well, like because we can get to it later on, but like some of the dialogue in this movie is also clearly supposed to be, hey. These gangbangers don't talk about stuff that isn't just gangbanger nonsense, and like that was like
oh yeah, it was some banter near the end with two dudes in the car talking. That had me laughing. We're gonna get to all that. So I mean, the movie kind of start off with that, man, where where it's like a kidnapping thing, where you kind of see. I forget that. What else that girl playing? Have you seen her?
I've seen her in at least one other thing, but I can't.
I don't know why
I meant to look her up.
But. Right, I'm pretty sure it's gonna pop right in my head when I see it because she looked very familiar. I seen her in something, but I can't something recent, and I just can't place her. But it's kind of like where, and I seen this story. The girl, she escaped the kidnappers, and John Henry take her in. And he started. Forming a relationship, not a relationship, like a friendship with the girl and want to protect her. It's kind of like, one of, and we seen this happening. This is kind of a typical plot in movies. But how they set it up, it was all right. But this is where that low budget come in there, where they do this shootout. They do this shootout scene, and the camera angles and the cuts was so bad, and I was like, okay, are they? What? First of all, so they had this girl in there, they had this lady in there with them, and 1 minute she was over on the couch, and then the next scene she come running out the room with the gun. I'm like, wait a minute, did she get up and go in the room, or maybe she started running when they started shooting? I didn't see that part.
It was like all I saw, like when the shootout starts, she gets on the floor. And then after the shootout ends, somehow she's managed to get past everybody into the bedroom
and start running and just running in with a gun and get shot.
Yeah, like she would have had to, like, even if she stayed on the floor, she would have had to crawl past them through a doorway to get to the gun.
So
you know what?
So okay, you look, the beginning of the movie, it's it's typical. I want to protect this girl story. Not bad. It wasn't the worst. And then this is where the movie flipped for me. When your boy Ludachris show up, right? I even like the little flashbacks they had.
Wait, look. Also, don't forget he had his theme music played
Well,
whenever he showed
I'm getting
up.
to that. I'm getting to that. Ludacris is a Bond villain in the Hood movie.
Yeah.
And when I say a Bond villain, my dude, he got a metal jaw. Now you'll see. I got a picture, matter of fact. This dude, I'll pull up this picture, man. This dude got a metal jaw, and you can clearly see it's just like a piece of metal glued to his face. And I was like, is this supposed to be like he had an accident and he had a jaw replaced, like a metal jaw replaced on him? So I'm putting on the picture now. This Ludacris with this little metal jaw. It might be gold, I guess.
I mean, I guess that's what it's supposed to be. He got his cross symbol.
Yeah, okay, he got the symbol on there, and he got the little rhinestones on there. And I'm like, bro, dude, okay. So you would think he got a little thing for that, because, his I don't know what his name, Lockjaw or something, He looked like he looked like Lockjaw. He looked like the dude from He-Man. I forgot it. What is his name?
Oh,
he got like Trap Jaw or some shit. Anyway,
something like that, yeah.
So you would think, he got like a theme with metal or something, or metal something. No, his name is Hell. Like, why is his name Hell? I don't know. So when every time he come in, they play this theme song, "Welcome to Hell."
So they put the scary ass Brightburn music on every time like that. Meow. Welcome to hell.
Yeah, it's like they chopped and screwed it a little bit. Like, yeah, nigga, welcome to hell. And he turned around slow. This dude literally got a throne. So
Hey, look, he got a throne in a blackout room, all UV lights.
What? Right. What does he just sit in his room all day?
And every time they cut to him, like, this dude is leaned back in the throne so that he's in the shadows. Like, what was that for? Like,
so I mean, first when they show him, you don't know where he at. You just know they in some kind of green. I'm sorry, they in some kind of purple room, and look, he messed up, boss. He's like, yeah, you fucked up now. You know what I'm saying? So his weapon of choice, is it's a blowtorch. Why?
Like, there's so much this movie doesn't explain about it.
His weapon of choice is a blowtorch. And I'm like, is his theme is burned? Like, did he get burned or something? No, he just got a blowtorch. Like, he just carry the blowtorch everywhere he go. I'm like, oh, okay.
I guess his whole thing when he finally gets to somebody is he used a blowtorch on him, like he put it in their mouth or something.
Well, I mean, I feel you. I feel you.
We also, and this is one of the problems with trying to give your bad guy a gimmick like that.
Right.
You have to show that there are people who have gotten that treatment. You can't just show that this is a thing he does.
Right. But also, you want to give him a gimmick that has something to do with his persona, like something that had to do with that jaw. That should have been what he do. You know what I'm saying? But no, he had a blowtorch. Like, why? So anyway, I guess he burned people.
I guess he just liked shop class.
But see, it would have been cool, like if he got burnt or something. So he want to have, he want people to feel the pain he felt. Right. I can understand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. More than that. So
because that could have been his whole moment. Like with that first time, it's like, I didn't get my shit together until I got burned. So now I'm gonna do the same for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. But no, he just sit in the throne, a literal throne, like he ordered this shit off eBay. Like, dude, it ain't just a chair. It ain't just a nice chair behind a desk. No, he has a throne, like a real throne.
This dude has an actual throne room.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the room, the only thing in that whole room is his throne and a love seat on the other side of the room.
So he put purple lights in his room, He put it's like you put purple neon lights in your room. What you call them kind of lights?
Like
LED lights. So you
yeah,
got
like they
purple
look like
LED lights.
some blackout
Blackout.
UVs, but
Right. So he made his room like that, and he made him a bad guy lair. Uh, and all his men wear white jumpsuits for some
like
reason.
this dude decided to be a Bond villain. Like he didn't.
I
He
mean,
didn't.
you know what though? Finish. Oh, go ahead. Say what you was gonna say.
All I'm saying is like he did. Like he knew from a young age. Nah, son, I'm gonna be a Bond villain one
Right.
day. Just you wait.
Well, see, this is the thing. First, when I first seen this, I said, "This is ridiculous." But you know what? I actually respect him for this. You know why? What makes this different from every other hood movie? If you can't make a big budget, if you can't get what you want on these movies, go over the top.
Yeah.
Make him an over the top villain. Don't just make him just a regular old hood dude. Make him the craziest hood dude you ever want to see. Look, this is the thing. And I don't want to stay too long on Ludachris. I need to talk about Terry Crews a little bit more. But so they got this scene where, he come in, his theme music play, "Welcome to Hell." Like he just the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Ludachris is so short. And he was so, like, okay, they had him walk in the room. So after the shootout, they played the song "Welcome to Hell." They had the door open. They had the shoes step in. I'm like, first of all, the shoes he had on, just no. And so he step in, "Welcome
I
to
wasn't
Hell."
expecting the bad. Like,
And he like 5'8", like, bro,
Yeah.
you so little.
like, because from the jump, like that scene could have worked that scene could have worked a lot better if you had one, gave him some different shoes, and two, not had the dude he was about to talk down to be almost twice his size.
Even on with Terry Crews on his knees, they the same height. I mean, I'm talking about, like, come on, man. Like, Ludacris too little. Not saying that he couldn't be the villain, but the way they had him come in like he the boss. I mean, he is the boss, but like, really, dude? Anyway, so Terry Crews kind of, and let's go more to the plot why he got this little jaw, and this kind of cool. The storyline, and I don't want to spoil nothing, but I don't think it's spoiling shit. That's their cousins. Is that spoiling it?
I think like that's pretty straightforward. Like, because the way they structure the flashbacks before it ever gets to that point in the movie, you already know.
Right, and I kind of like how they did the flashback. They kind of did like some home video stuff, and then they did a couple flashbacks to him and his cousin. So they I guess they kind of accidentally shot him or whatever. So he had this PTSD where he just don't want to touch a gun no more.
Yeah, like he can't like actually make physical contact with a gun.
Right. And I mean, and I kind of like that aspect. It kind of give the character more depth, And like I said, I think it was good stuff here. It was stuff that was they was trying to do, and some of the character development with John Henry worked. Where he didn't want to touch a gun, and even when they showed him beat somebody half to death, or I guess he beat somebody to death.
Look, you saw the splat. He beat him to death.
Where that bothered him too much.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And his cousin was like, "Oh man, you a celebrity for doing that. Oh, you know what I'm saying?" So I mean, so I like the little dynamic of it, and yin and yang, whatever. So it led to a good little drama in that aspect, but everything else played out, pretty much like a hood movie or whatever. And then I liked so I was talking about they had some towards the end where John Henry, the old story of John Henry. John Henry was handy with a hammer, so we knew that he was gonna have to go sooner or later. He was gonna go to work with a hammer. And they did they had some. It turned into like the last third of this movie turned into like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Because it got so gory, and I'm looking like, oh goodness, like is he gonna actually? Yeah, he.
Yep. Hey, yo, I don't know what you thinking of doing with that.
Hold on, and why dudes just stayed still? Like, hey man, what you? He cocked back and slowly bashed his brains in. Dude didn't flinch or move. Or nothing, just hey, let me stand up straight.
I know this dude ain't about to splat my brains with this hammer. Watch this dude think he gonna splat my brains with this hammer. He ain't gonna splat my. Turn that dude's head into a ketchup packet.
So that kind of goes to this low budget. They didn't actually show the splat, or they didn't show the actual hammer making contact with the person. They just kind of showed another angle, the result of the hammer hitting the person, which is kind of show you to their low budget. They didn't have the money to actually. They didn't even have no money for prosthetics or just what's it called that the practical effects. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Because like even like the one time they actually showed something that might look like they had done a practical effect was when there's a headshot later on in the movie, and even that doesn't.
Oh my God.
That headshot.
Dude, hold on. After he was shot, that looked like what? Okay, I don't know if it possibly had grazed his head, but the effect afterwards, the wound, looked like what the fuck is that?
It looked like somebody took a marker and just drew on his head a little bit.
It looked like somebody just splashed a little red paint on his head. Like, there you go. Like, what the fuck? What is that? He got shot in the head.
Oh man!
Like, I guess John Henry's so tough.
There is a good blood effect later on in that last act.
Oh, you talking about when the thing hit the dude in the neck?
Yeah. Hey, look.
Why would that go? Why would that go flying that far anyway?
And it was look, and why was it perfectly shaped too? Like,
I know. Okay, so what we talking about is, it was a straightforward story, and pretty soon, towards the end, once it started to wrap up, John Henry was gonna have to take out his vengeance on the person. So, instead he didn't use a gun, so he stuck to not using a gun. So he used a hammer to really maim and destroy people with. I mean, maybe a gun might be more humane to use.
Yeah, like that whole last act. All I'm thinking of, like, bro, at this point, you might as well just shoot people.
Yeah. So anyway, it was it was entertaining though. It was entertaining to before he make his last stand or whatever. And like you said, they just had this blood just spraying and stuff. It was funny. But your boy Ludachris, man, I was like, okay, he did all this talking, like he's so tough. And when it came down to it, he was just a bitch.
Like, because like this is my thing about characters like Hell is like, if you're gonna have them talk the talk, you at some point they had to have been able to handle their business. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I mean, but come on, Terry Crews though, like in Ludachris,
right? Hey, look, I don't even know how the movie lasted that long. All you gotta do is lay hands.
Okay, and you know what killed me when he finally attacked Hell in his lair, and you thinking this is like some big ass mansion or something. It's just like a little house no bigger than my house.
Yeah.
Like it's like if I literally took my house and made me a lair in that, and just took in my living room, put me a throne in my living room with purple lights, and when somebody pulled me out my little ass house, it's like, you ain't no goddamn drug dealer. Like, man, I'm Hell, nigga. Welcome to Hell. Get your ass out of there. It's like I was like, man,
take you in your gold spray paint jaw. Get the fuck out of here.
Like that house it's just a little house, like a little 3-bedroom house. It was not
Yeah.
a big lair. It's like, dog, you ain't nothing, dude. You just not.
Oh
You ain't
man.
even a good drug dealer. Your lair is just a little house. You got a couple of henchmen, but they're idiots. But I mean, so I did. It was this part where when the henchmen, you know what? When they bantered, it made me think of you because you asked me that very question, not that same way, but you asked me something about that. Like when I first met you, dude said, "Hey, if you was a human centipede, would you be in the front or the back?" It's like, what? He's like, man, you don't get on with that gay shit. He's like, no, there was a movie. He took 2 people and he took about 5 people and attached them together from head to their asshole and made a centipede. He's like some German dude. He's like, why the fuck would you do that? I don't know. German white people do crazy shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Why would you tell me that shit? I'm just trying to tell you what they doing in Germany. I don't care about what they doing in Germany.
That's like what? But anyway, that part had me rolling, dog. I was actually laughing at that scene. So that's why I said the actors are good actors. Yeah. I can see the way they make the dialogue flow. So it's like even when you give a good actor crap, they can make it work. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell the dialogue was like whatever. And then they was like, I'm just gonna make it work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually respecting the craft of the actors actually doing what they could do with it. I think the budget made the movie kind of like it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I really kudos goes to actually I'm giving props and respect to I don't know if that was Ludachris' idea, but to the writers or whoever decided to make it so over the top that it's stupid, but it made it more entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
Because if that movie had been like low key, it wouldn't have been worth watching.
Right. If he was just another villain, just some old dude. No, he came out over the top. Thank you, because if you can't just be if it's gonna be the same old shit, and you ain't got the budget to actually make it good, go over the top.
Yeah.
So I mean, I appreciate that. Them just like saying, you know what, we know we got some crap, so we gonna make it fun.
like every last scrap of banter in this movie is on point. Like just like as ridiculous as some of, bruh. Somebody wanted to mention to you the old man's last words.
Yeah, well, boy, man, he's like, well,
my name is BJ Henry, and my dick was legendary.
Yeah, so
like that's just like an old head, man.
So how you standing up? It's the adrenaline.
Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. Don't worry about how I'm standing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, BJ remind me so much of my uncles, bro. like, why are you always talking shit, huh? Boy, you don't know nothing about talking shit. I'm gonna talk some shit to you, bro.
Well, you gotta let them talk that shit. But
yep.
So yeah, like I said, Terry Crews actually did good, man, as a stoic protagonist, reluctant hero. I just kind of wish they had a bigger budget to actually, make it like a real movie.
Yeah. Because like, especially this day and age where you can make some decent stuff on YouTube.
No. It
like a couple.
Well, go ahead, finish what you say.
Yeah, but like a couple $100 and a decent camera, and you can make a movie on par, if not much better, on YouTube.
I think that's about all they spent on that.
Yeah,
I mean, they probably made this movie like in a week. I give it like a week. I mean, because the stuff, like, okay, the stuff at his house, that was good. That was kind of some good, drama stuff. With the girl, him and the girl. They going back and forth. They, what's going on. him, the girl, and the dad, and even with her brother, when he came, all that was actually kind of some good stuff.
Yeah.
Everything after that turned into whoa.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking about it, they couldn't have used more than 6 locations for this whole film. I'm not entirely convinced because I'm not entirely convinced that all those house scenes weren't filmed in the same house.
Right. I know they just changed it. One room got the throne, other room was John Henry bedroom, other room was the living room. It's like they did all this in one place.
Right. So it's like there may have only been like three locations in this whole flick, man. So like I can't imagine it taking them much more than a couple weeks to maybe a month to film this.
And what you think about the score? I just had to say something because of they played this little standoff music. It was like they played the Western, like the Sergio Leone Western standoff music on there. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Like, it's so anachronistic. Like when that music starts playing, like it's clear the moment they're trying to set up, but it does not fit with the energy of the film. Like I get it, you got to stand off, you got to play that old spaghetti Western music, but
right. I mean, I feel like the homage to it, but not this movie.
Like that, and they played it more than once.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes they played music where it didn't fit at all. And I'm like, okay, but this is obviously an amateur filmmaker. I want to see more of this, but I want them to actually put more work into it and put more and use put more work into it. Get some professional editors, and I bet you this is all done like kind of on the cheap, maybe like 1 or 2 people, like not too many people. But I'm saying the idea of let's get. I mean, and it was actually, I feel like the script at some point the script wasn't that bad, and then they started adding and making their own.
Because it's important to mention, like the plot of this movie is not bad.
Right,
the plot is not bad at all. It's
and the actors ain't bad.
And the actors ain't bad. It's just like either I don't know, like the editing is a little bit off, and the script is a lot off. But like the ideas in this movie are okay. It's just the implementation wasn't there.
Yeah, like I would like to see. Even though Terry Crews did this, it's like if he could just do this again with a bigger budget, with a better director, I would like to see that. But I mean, what's done is done. So let's move on. Yeah. Now I was hearing they're gonna do like a Rock was gonna do a John Henry or whatever. So they're gonna do like a blockbuster version of not this movie, but another John Henry movie.
Right.
With The Rock.
And knowing The Rock, he is actually going to be going toe to toe with the train.
Probably. He probably going to punch the train gonna fall to pieces.
It's like he's going to be going through the mountain and say, fuck this. I
don't know if they're going to do the original, whatever the story. Was that a folk tale? Is that?
Yeah.
Was that like a folk tale story or?
Yeah.
How John Henry decided to battle, go against a train or a steam engine or something like that to, I don't know, it was like a challenge, right? And then and did John Henry win and died, or did he even win? I know he died at the end, right?
he did die at the end. Like he made it through the mountain and then his heart gave out.
Right, but did he win?
I don't know.
And if you died, do you really win? But
asking the real questions here.
So anyway, that was John Henry, Netflix John Henry, man. It's actually worth a watch if you want to get a laugh. And I'm not going to sit here and lie and say it was good, but what I will say is something that you got to see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's so entertaining, you got to see this. And Ludachris, just like what? I'm telling you, man, he really threw me off when he came in that room, and I'm expecting like big, intimidating, and he walked in like a little kid, like welcome to hell,
Like at least pack on some muscle for this, man. Like if you can't make yourself too much taller without some camera tricks, but put some muscle on, man.
Well, I
Come on
mean,
now.
come on, you gonna do that for this? They
Fair
not. I'm
point.
pretty
Fair
sure with
point.
this budget, they not paying you that much. So you gotta be. I'm not finna be in the gym like I'm crazy for this. I mean, if anything, I wear a pad in my suit before I do that
Oh,
shit.
before I also gotta mention, let's not forget, Hell's full name was Helen.
What? That was his name?
Yeah, when she told him to grab the gas bill out the drawer, if you look
Oh, they
on the
showed his
envelope,
name.
his name is Helen.
Oh my
His
god.
name is Helen.
Okay, well, I see why you go by Hale too.
Like,
My name be Hale. You call me Helen, I'm gonna kill you. Helen,
I like when his grandma is even like, I think he just didn't want folks to know his real name.
bruh.
But oh,
His mama created the supervillain. Then you name your son Helen. What you expect him to turn into? You, dude, he probably got picked on
uh,
so much.
like
Oh
I think
wow, I didn't
like
know that.
I think like even Mandark off of Dexter's Lab supposed to have a girl's first name.
Whatever,
That's how you
dude.
make a supervillain, dude.
Yeah, I know. So, oh man, good. Let me give it a rating. Okay, so all right, this was a very low budget, typical hood movie, but it also had a little charm to it, where some of the drama and some of the acting was actually not bad, and um, Terry Crews did a good job of playing a stoic protagonist, and it was, it wasn't the worst I ever seen. But then once Ludacris stepped onto the scene, it's on a cartoonish level
Yeah.
of crazy, and
Like all of
then
a sudden it's Snidely Whiplash in there, man.
yeah, and then the budget was so low and the editing was a little choppy. I can't in good conscience give it above a whack, but I had fun. So I'm gonna give it a whack, but it was a fun whack. So that's my rating, a fun whack. What you give it?
So there's a lot to this movie. Almost none of it makes it all the way through, but this is a very, this is a watchable movie. Is like I didn't think so after I first, like when I was first watching it, but after I finished it, this movie is really watchable. So I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna say this is an essential whack. Do not miss it.
Yeah. It's just one of the movies so bad that you got to tell people to watch this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's
Like
giving
this
it
is
legs.
like this is one of those like riff tracks movies, man. Like it's so bad we had to let y'all see this so we can talk about it.
Yeah. So I'm like, in that regard, you still make your money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's kind of like what's that dude named Takeshi 6ix9ine? He's so
Yeah.
trash. You just gotta hear how is this dude making money? Let me hear this. Yeah, it's bad, but they already got your money after that.
Right. I mean, look, I might as well be a fan. He got my money. I can't act like it was bad now.
So yeah, that is our review for John Henry. John Henry.
They even put the song in there too.
Did they? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they was trying, dude. But
He laid down his hammer and he died.
so I wouldn't be surprised to see John Henry Part 2 because yeah.
It'll probably happen. Hey, look, they didn't spend too much money on this one, so they might as well.
Yeah, I bet you they approached because I was like, what's name getting a little old, so I bet they approached the guy to play Luke Cage, Michael Coulter,
Mike Coulter.
and he probably was like, let me see that. What's the budget? Man, I got more than that in my pocket right now. Get out my face with this shit.
Like, do y'all know that I played the Bulletproof Man already? Get out of here with that.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our review, man. So what we're gonna try to do, man, we're gonna do more movie reviews. We're gonna do more of these Netflix reviews. Might not be new stuff. We might get some old stuff. So we're gonna do some retro reviews on some movies we've seen already, some movies that's been out. But we're gonna get like at least 2 of them in a week. So be on the lookout for us doing some more movie reviews. Gonna
And
be
if,
all what? What you
and,
laughing at?
hey, look, and if y'all happen upon any more of these so good, so bad you have to see it movies,
Let us know.
let us know.
Let us know, and I will review that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I want to see. We're gonna just whatever movies that we watching, we're gonna give some reviews, and then kind of like you can check out our reviews, and then you can figure out if, hey, this on Netflix, is it good or not? Watch our review, you'll find out. So yeah, thanks for checking out the video. Please subscribe to the channel so y'all get some alerts when we throw these reviews up. And I think that's all we got for the people, man. We're gonna be out of here.
Peace, y'all.
Yes, peace, y'all. All right, we out of here.